always want to put a different indie on it. Rosen.
Yeah.
Nate, from my understanding, you came from a powerhouse baseball school at Owasso.
Wasso.
Owasso?
It's close.
I was almost there. I'm from Texas, so you should blame that. Why go the junior college route? I assume that there were a lot of big names that came out of your high school.
Yeah, there were a ton of big names. We were a powerhouse, and I was kind of just like blowing up towards my senior year. And then, of course, with COVID happening, baseball got shut down. And I actually had a buddy at Eastern who talked me into going. So I just went with it, and it's a pretty good decision.
What'd you do at Eastern that really changed your game?
Really nothing. I think it was just more of just keep pitching, developing. And velo, my senior year was like 88, 90. In my first year there, I got up to 92, and then turned into a starter my second year and was kind of just staying with 100 pitches at the same velo. I think that was the biggest thing for me. So that was pretty much it. And then, of course, getting a hit.
I talked to your coach there, Matt Parker. He said there's something about your fastball that people just don't hit it, and he can't really put a finger on it. So what is it about your fastball that makes it so difficult to hit?
I'm not big into the numbers, but I know it spins a lot, really good spin rate, and I guess it rises, or it looks like it rises. So I think that helps a lot, and then I got some run on it. But it's just a regular four seam, so I guess I got blessed with the movement.
How are you feeling about going into this weekend? First SEC?
Excited. Super excited. I'm ready for competition, having the fans yell at you, all that. I love that.
What are you guys talking about in the locker room when it comes to that kind of stuff?
Really nothing right now. I think it's going to be more of when we get on the plane, all that, probably when we first get down there. We practice down there. It's probably going to be a lot of talk about it, but I'm just excited.
I asked Jay this, but do you guys kind of embrace the anticipation and the hype, or do you kind of have to level down and calm yourself down to make sure you play the way you guys do?
I think both. I feel like I play better when I'm up there with the hype and all that, but then again, you got to look at your opponent, take them one game at a time and all that.
Paxton kind of talked about wanting to come here to play amongst the best, and then now you get a chance to really see what you're made of. I guess how exciting is that, the challenge that is the SEC schedule? Not necessarily the opponent this weekend, but just really stepping up in competition.
Excited. I want to see how my stuff plays against some of the best teams in the country, prove myself to scouts, all that, prove myself to everybody back home, and just see how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, there's an idea that you're good, but then you face a team and can have a chance to prove it.
Kind of just.
Not you specifically.
Oh, just the whole team.
Yeah.
We're ranked number 1 right now. We're pretty hyped up, but I think we deserve that spot, and I think people don't understand that. Even if we're not hitting well in the first 3-4 innings, we're pitching it well, we're keeping the hitters in there. And once we get to that bullpen, that's usually when it gets bad for other teams, and I think that's something we can do where we have a bullpen. So when our starter comes out of the game, we're fine. We got a bullpen full of 10 dudes that can pitch at any moment, where I feel like other teams, they have 1 or 2 guys in the bullpen. So, you get that Friday game, you get the starter out there quick, they have to go to their main guys. Just sets us up for Saturday and Sunday too.
Do you have any college offers out of high school?
I had a couple small mid-majors, but it was kind of one of those things where when COVID hit, it kind of like the recruiting went down, all that. So, yeah, I didn't really have much. Worked out.
Yeah, it didn't matter anyway.
What do you see out of Garrett Edwards?
Oh, he's dominating right now. He's feeling himself. That fastball was working. Actually, I was down in the Marucci Center during the game, 4th inning. I think I went down there, and we have a TV. And then we got the Rapsodo or TrackMan, and it shows the numbers. And his slider was really disgusting yesterday, so I was playing well with his fastball.
Does he talk much?
No, he's quiet dude.
Quiet country guy?
Yeah. It's kind of like me.
You mentioned that you want to prove yourself. Do you, just wondering, feel like you have a chip on your shoulder, and what is the chip?
I kind of always been raised like that. Like, I feel coming back to the powerhouse high school thing, I wasn't a big-time name, and there were some big-time dudes, but I had phenomenal numbers and all that, and always got looked up or looked past. So I kind of feel like being here and out the SEC, you're at the top stage. I feel like I have a point to prove.
How often are you talking with Riley about sort of pitching styles and just sort of working with your stuff? Because, I mean, it's 2 lefties who coming out of the bullpen, the same team, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of look alike.
Lower 90s, the whole thing.
Yeah, we actually room together, so we don't really talk a lot about that. Kind of just do our own thing. I know, living with each other, we kind of just have normal talks. We don't really talk about baseball as much.
Like, do you all pick your roommates?
No. So I was my mom was more worried about it, but when I moved up here in the summer to get started early, and I was talking to Coach Johnson, I was like, I need a roommate or somewhere to live. And so I was going to live with Christian Little, and then he ended up switching me and Appleby with Riley. And we got a little house, so.
Do you think there's any rhyme or reason for any of that?
I think probably all three pitchers, we all are kind of alike, and me and Coop being left-handed, I think that's another reason.
Blue Ball Park is notorious for being a tough place to pitch. Do you like pitching those types of Blue
Oh, I love it. I like when opposing fans are always chirping at you. It gets me fired up. So.
What do you have some sort of mental routine before you go into those tough environments?
Not really. I'm kind of just born this way, I guess. I don't. Yeah, I'm weird.
Were they chirping in Texas?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with the bullpen right there, and the student section's right next to it. When I walked out to go into the game, they were just screaming. Couldn't hear anything, but kind of just took it. I just smiled as I ran out there. I was like, I'm ready.
Do you think that's maybe one of the keys to success for this team is that it's a bunch of like-minded guys that want the challenge?
Exactly. Yeah, I do. Personally, I think we all do. Living up to the hype, and people want the best, or they want to beat the best, and we are the best. So I think we want to give them everything we got.
You talked about increasing your velocity while you were in junior college. From my understanding, you had to go through a lot of conditioning
Yeah.
to do that. What
We
were some
ran
of the
it.
things you had to do to up your velocity?
We ran a ton at Eastern. We had these things, so like day 1 to day 7, because I was a starter. So day 7 would be like the day you throw. But day 1 was horrible. It was straight running poles, like pretty much all practice. It was called a full house, so it'd be like run halfway, sprint, or jog halfway, sprint. Then it'd be jog halfway, sprint, and then jog halfway, sprint, until you got up to like 5 poles sprinting, and then you go back down.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a ton, and then kind of just based off that, next days were sprint work, and then there was long distance, just back to back to back. So kind of got me in shape.
What was their reasoning for that?
Help with the arm, I guess. I will admit I do kind of enjoy running somewhat, not a ton, but I feel like it builds up your body to last longer in games. That's one thing I do. A lot of people think it's more for their arm, I think, getting lactic acid out, but I look at it as more lasting longer in the game. So
Do you still run a lot?
not as much as there, but
Yeah.
I still hit the treadmill a little bit, just depending on what days I pitch. So if I don't know, then it's kind of harder to do, but usually the day after I will.
Riley a big runner?
No. Nope.
How's that? We were just talking to Paxton, and not necessarily looking the part of being what you are, but like Riley is that guy that doesn't. You're not expecting that to come out of that.
Yeah.
Like how you guys talk about that at all?
Yeah, he's completely different than anyone I've ever met. Like, he's one of those guys that he doesn't have to do anything. He'll just, show up and dominate. He gets a lot of sleep in, though.
Yeah.
So I think that helps with his recovery.
There you go.
I guess
Key to that
the
all.
biggest question is, do you consider yourself an exceptional athlete?
Yeah, a little bit.
They're joking with me. Question answer. Thanks, Nate.
No problem. Thank y'all.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Like,
He doesn't have the